Hello and welcome to another episode of Just Speak. Last time we guested a youth in the person of Don Abriel Hernandez. This time we have another youth as our guest, and this youth has been experiencing depression for more than a year already. Although she is active in her parish, particularly in the youth, children, and media ministry, and she's also a teacher by profession. She's currently working in a Catholic media company. So, without further ado, let us all welcome a dear friend of mine, Cherry Ann Rosas.
So, Ate Cherry, can you describe who Cherry Ann Rosas is?
Hi. Hello po sa mga nanonood po ng Just Be Today. I am the eldest in the family. Then, for now, ako po yung nagtatrabaho lang sa amin, ganun. Then, I was graduate as a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Ako po ngayon ay nagtatrabaho sa department po ng accounting.
Okay. So, Ate Cherry, as she said, let me just go through what she said. She's the eldest in the family, and currently she's the breadwinner. So, how have you been this pandemic, Ate Cherry?
For me, it's difficult because there's a time na I don't know what I'm going to do. Yan, yung nalaman ko po na darating tong pandemic na to. Siyempre, hindi pa ako ready, ganun. Tapos, nung una po, nung dineclare po yung pandemic na magkakaroon nga po na ECQ, magla-lockdown po, ganun. One week po na naka-lockdown na po tayo, nagkaroon pa po ako ng pasok nun. Then, after po nun, nung binalita po na wala nang masasakyan, gano'n, na nagstay na po ako sa bahay, hindi na rin ako pinapasok. During po na bawal din po ako ma-expose sa virus kasi nga po, I have an asthma. Yun, medyo nga daw po yung kalusugan ko. Kaya hindi na rin po ako pinapasok nung mga kasamahan ko. Then po yun, nung unang buwan, medyo okay pa po ako. Pero nung lumipas na po yung mga araw, buwan, parang na po na, bakit ganun? Anong gagawin ko? Feeling ko po, napaka-useless ko ng tao. Kasi, nasa bahay lang po ako, wala akong magawa, ganun. Tapos, dumating pa po sa time na umiiyak ako araw-araw. Kasi, hindi lang po dahil sa pandemic. Pero po kasi na may pilano po kasi naaayusin dapat.
Okay, let me just recap what you've been sharing with us. So, this pandemic was very hard. Well, it's really hard for most of us, no? But the effect of the pandemic on your part was that the first month was you were feeling okay about it until a lot of things are already coming up on your mind, like how are you going to survive? Basically, since you're only the breadwinner in your family, it already gave you that sense of worthlessness because you were unable to help your family as much as you wanted. I would just like to know, since you already are working and they were the ones who asked you not to go to work anymore because of you having asthma, were you receiving a salary during that period?
Binibigyan po nila ako ng pera. Two times na po.
So in that 4 months of lockdown, you actually received money for 2 months only. So May and June.
Cash advance.
Okay, so May and June, you're already worried. And then, another effect of the pandemic with you is the plans that you have lined up for the month of March was hindered. And aside from that, you felt cut off from everybody else. What made you feel that you were cut off?
dumating po kasi sa point na wala po talaga akong nakakausap, even po yung sa mga chat, ganito, ganyan. Siguro po dahil lahat po tayo pati po yung mga college friends ko, nagagalit sila sa akin. Dumating po sa point na nagalit sila sa akin na hindi ko alam yung rason kung bakit. Kung bakit sila nagagalit. Tapos, binlock po nila ako that time. Tapos, gusto ko sila kausapin, pero ayaw nila.
When you said you felt you were cut off from people, you were pertaining to there was no one reaching out to talk to you like you were accustomed to. Okay, it's okay.
Yes.
And then that particular incident of you having a problem with your friends, that they were angered for some particular reason that you don't know, that you tried then to reach out to them but they did not respond to you. And was this the particular situation that you wanted to address come March, or was there something else that was bothering you?
Yung sa March po, iba po yun. Yun po yung mas mabigat para sa akin. Yun po, share ko lang po is, I have one friend, siya, tahimik lang siya ang tao, tapos mabait po siya. Pero po, dumating po kasi yung time na, siguro po, December po nung nangyari yun, na just because of him, nagkaroon po kami ng conflict ng isa kong friend. Nag-reach out po ako sa kanya na usapin ko po siya. Start po nun ng January.
Okay.
Pero, ni-reply niya po ako nung una. Pero po, dumating po sa point na hindi niya na ako na-replyan. Tapos po, nag-reach out po ako sa kanya after 1 month. February, nag-reach out din ako sa kanya noon. Then, hindi na po siya nagsisin sa akin. Ever since, hanggang June, 6 months po na dinala ko po yung na yon. Yung bigat na yon ang bigat po kasi gusto ko lang naman po malinawan, kumbaga, na para din po mapaliwanag ko dun sa friend ko na isa, yung totoo pong nangyari. Pero parang po kasi ang nangyari is, sinarado niya po. Tinapos niya po na hindi okay. Parang ako po yung naiiwan. Dun po sa isa, hindi ko naman po mapaliwanag kung ano po talaga. Kasi hindi ko rin po makausap si kuya, every day ko po siyang iniisip. Araw-araw, pinagdadasal ko po talaga na sana dumating yung araw na makausap ko po sila. Nawalan po ako ng pag-asa nung una, pero nung nag-reflect po ako na, di ba po kapag kami nagagawa naman po tayong mali, kailangan nating mag-reflect sa sarili. Bakit kasi dumating po sa point na lalayo ka, kung wala ka naman po talagang kasalanan.
Okay, so let me get this straight. For 6 months, you've been carrying this burden of having a problem between two of your friends. Because of the guy, you had a problem with the girl. Okay, so there's a domino effect. And what was the effects of this on you?
Every time po na naiisip ko yun, bigla na lang po akong umiiyak. Tas parang iritang-irita po ako na basta ayoko po may nangiistorbo sa akin, ganon. Yung gusto ko lang po mag-isa ako, na dito lang ako, ayoko maistorbo, ganon. Basta yun po iniisip ko. Tas ang weird lang po kasi kahit sa panaginip, minsan na nakikita ko po yung situation na yun.
So you were very troubled by this problem that you had with your friends, so much so that you were actually having nightmares about this, and you were also, it's affecting your mood, and it makes you withdrawn from people, it makes you grumpy, and those are actually signs of depression. So you've been undergoing this for the last 6 months, and is this still going on?
Sa ngayon po, medyo okay na po siya. Kasi nagkausap naman na po kami.
Okay.
Then, medyo nagkalinawan na din po.
Okay.
Kaya medyo nakakahinga na din po ako ng maluwag.
Okay.
Kumpara po nung mga nakaraan.
Did you come to a point of forgiving yourself for what happened? Are you already in that process?
Ano po? Syempre po hindi ko pa po siya hindi ko pa naman po ganun na napatawad yung sarili ko. Hindi pa naman po 100% na agad-agad po mapatawad ko yung sarili ko.
Because most of the time, people get depressed when there's that denial. Remember my last episode was on denial and acceptance. And then of course the denial comes in different phases, in different levels. The denial of the situation and the denial of your involvement or your contribution to that situation. You've already gone past the denial of the situation, gone past the denial of your fault, because you said you were able to accept that during the process of the pandemic. But the process of forgiving yourself, that's where you are right now. What do you think other people should be doing if they are stuck up in forgiving themselves?
Sa nangyari po kasi, yung sarili ko lang po yung sinisikot na parang ako po talaga yung may mali.
Okay.
Basta ayoko na po maulit yun. Kaya po, ngayon, nasa process po ako ngayon na i-heal ko po muna yung sarili ko. Bago po ako salita sa iba, is mas okay po na kilalanin ko muna yung sarili ko. Ayusin ko po muna. Natutunan po akong magsulat sa diary. Bali po, lahat po ng galit ko or inis ko po ay nangyayari po sa akin every time or every day is sa kanya ko po binibigay. Doon po sa notebook na yun. Doon ko po lahat nasusulat. Kaya po pag nagagawa ko po yun is, syempre, gumagaan din po yung pakiramdam.
Okay. So, you're saying one of the things that helped you go through all of these things that were happening in your life under this pandemic was the aid of the journal. You started journaling, and it really has helped you lessen up the burden that you are feeling at the moment.
Natuklasan ko rin po nitong pandemic is, yun kapag ka na-stress po ko, kapag ka na-feel ko na po na, ito na naman ako na, parang na-feel ko po na, na-stress na naman ako, parang nade-depress po ako na, andun na ma-atake po yung anxiety ko, yung takot nito, ganyan, na kapag drawing po ako, pero di naman po talaga ako artist, pero nakapag-drawing po ako kapag ka na-stress po ako.
Okay.
Mga po siya, most po dun sa mga na-drawing ko nung pandemic is, puro po, nature.
Nature, okay.
Ako.
So that you are already aware when the depression is starting, and when you are aware of it and you feel it's coming, you already engage yourself in something productive and creative, right?
Yes.
This way your attention is diverted. Okay, so basically, let me wrap it up. Most of the triggers that you are experiencing when it comes to depressions is relational.
Apo.
You are affected, or you feel it coming, this episodes coming when there's a rift or a problem in your relationships, and when you feel isolated. Let me just go into your head for a second. You feel like there's nobody getting in touch with me, there's nobody talking to me, maybe there's nobody valuing me, maybe I'm not important, so nobody's talking to me, nobody's reaching out to me. And that's when all these things come up in your head already, all the negative talk coming in your head, and that's when your anxiety starts. That's how you experience it. Okay. Alright. I get where you're coming from already. Such that you'll get your phone and then you scroll on it and you say, nobody yet, so you put it off, and then like after 5 minutes you put it on again, and then does that happen to you? Do you
Yes po,
experience
ginawa ko
that?
po yun.
Okay. So,
Yes po.
and then and you keep on coming back and you keep wondering, why is everybody so quiet? Huh? What are they doing? Why is everybody so quiet? And then you scroll, you go to your Facebook, nobody's responding, you have no notifications, and then you go back to your messenger, there's nobody there, nobody talking. So that's when you say you feel you are isolated. Tama? Okay. So, that's one of the things that I think most of us are experiencing. Failed relationships is one of the reasons for depression. So, what would you like to share to other people like you so that they'll be able to save themselves from experiencing depression?
Ayun po. Ang masasabi ko lang or masishare ko lang po sa mga katulad ko po na nakaranas ng ganun is aksyonan na po natin agad. Tas ano po, yun, wag na po natin palakihin. Kasi syempre po, kung tutusin po kasi na kung papatagalin po natin na hindi po tayo mag-reach out sa isang tao is tatagal at tatagal lang po yun at mas magiging mas mabigat po yun kapag tumagal. Kausapin po natin sila agad. Tapos wag po tayo magpapatalo sa hiya natin at saka sa takot mo coming from me.
Okay, so let me just recap before we say goodbye to our viewers today for this episode. What you were trying to share is that when it comes to relationships, there will always be conflicts. And whenever there are conflicts, it is best to resolve that conflict as early as possible. Never prolong the conflict because the only person that will be suffering is you. Right?
Yes po.
And as much as possible, do not allow fear and shame and guilt to get in the way of you resolving your relationships. Try as early as possible to reach out to people, especially those you love, because it is easier that way. You don't need to carry so much baggage in your life and make yourself suffer in the process. That it? Did I get it right? Okay. So, I'd like to thank you, Ate Cherry, for sharing this very intricate and very intimate experience that you've had. I do hope that you get to the point of being really satisfied in your closure with your kuya and with the girl that you have a problem with, and I hope that you would continue your journaling. Okay?
Yes po. Thank you, Pater.
You're welcome. But would you like to sing a song? No, I will not force you to sing a song. That was just for Ate Michelle because that's a special episode.
Umuulan nga po baka po lumakas.
Okay. So again, thank you so much. I hope you had fun in this episode of Just Be Ate Cherry. And next time, I hope that we'll have your kuya and you on board also. So we could share your experience here at Just Be. Bye!
Bye po.